how did you get in?
So they had that fight night thing, the open Instagram hashtag they had going on, like the Battle of the Barracks Next Gen. And with that, you had to submit 10 tricks. So for mine, I did, well...
We did it at Centennial, didn't we not? That was it. Yeah. That one was fun to film.
Well, I just want to say, too, like, Kenny helped with somehow being a part of every single Barracks video I've done.
I think so, somehow, yeah.
Yeah, so, like, I just thought this was fitting that we filmed this together.
Right.
You filmed my entry, you filmed...
That is true.
Like 2 or 3 of my practice videos. It's cool that you've been to, you know, all the shit going on.
It's like that uncle, you know, that goes to all the nephew's games and shit.
Yeah, exactly. Hopefully my shit's a little bit more fun than like...
It's way more exciting than baseball.
Nephew's like t-ball game.
Sure.
But yeah, getting into Battle of the Barracks was that submission thing. And like, I feel like with myself, usually when they have those submission kind of things, I don't ever give in. And with that is a whole voting system. But I think because I started to do the YouTube and I started to get a little bit of like traction from that, people were actually down to see me in that.
I thought that was a good edit idea. Mm-hmm. He came up with the idea that he wanted to do 10 tricks, but he wanted to do them really fast.
Basically, go through a bracket, they vote for people. I got picked out of the bracket.
Yeah.
Got voted through. Had to play a couple guys. I'll put some of that footage in. Practiced a little bit for those games. I think Jackie Tatum, which is like a terrible skate park. Not a great place to practice, but in my head, I'm like, oh, the ground's perfect there. It wasn't until I really started practicing flat ground where I realized like that ground fucking sucks.
It's not good enough either.
Not good at all.
I do believe though at that time you were looking for slippery ground like the Barracks.
And I thought that was until I actually found a park that was slippery, and then I'm like, oh my god, this is...
What was that, Mayberry?
Mayberry. Yeah, because Jack Tatum was not slippery. I'm like, why can't I do front 360s? And then I go to Mayberry, I'm like, oh, it's because the fucking ground was, you know, grippy. Got through that, beat the 2 guys I had to get to. So that was, you know, how I initially actually got into Battle of the Barracks.
Practicing before the first game, what was that like?
I think they gave me maybe a month's notice. I don't remember exactly how much time, but it couldn't have been more than like a month. And then they didn't tell me who I was going to play.
They just said,
get ready. Round 1 games are coming up in February or March or whatever it was. And it was like a month before. So I'm like, okay, I need to actually start practicing now. Because I wasn't really before that. So the fight night shit happened about 6 months before the real games. So it's like I practiced for maybe 3 or 4 days for the fight night shit. When they told us the real games are coming up, then that's when I put everything on hold. Because I had just started the GoPro part too.
Yeah.
So like I was like working really hard towards the GoPro part. And it's funny because this video is probably going to come out
all about the same times.
About the same time as like the first GoPro shit. So like I'm like every few days working towards the GoPro part, and then they're like, hey, your game's starting. Like fuck. So I hit DeVille and everyone. I'm like, I'm just gonna do flat. Like you know, all my sponsors like
this has
I basically put everything on hold, you know, for a month just to like dude, I wanted to do good in this shit, you know? I know a lot of pros were like, and I talked to a lot of people like, well, how do you practice? They're like, oh, I might practice for an hour every couple of days.
Yeah.
Like, I want to do good in this, you know?
Right.
So, all the basics, all the hard tricks, whatever. Watched games of skate, see what tricks people do. Watch dumb data videos. That's a YouTube guy that, like, breaks down all the shit.
Oh, right?
He's sick as fuck.
Okay.
3 days before my game, that's when they're like, hey, you're playing Johnny.
Right. That had to like really been like, which I guess they're looking at it as, we want you to be ready for whatever.
Right. Well, I'm like,
which
I was ready for whatever.
Yeah.
But not that. You know what I mean? Like
that dude is gnarly.
That's not the same as like
that dude is gnarly.
Yeah. It's just different. I was like prepared to play like, you know, I don't want to say like I was prepared to play a more traditional
I was gonna say that. Yeah.
Like a more traditional pro. So like when I find out it's him, I'm like, fuck.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta learn some shit.
To learn.
His bag of tricks is deeper than like what I physically have time to practice. So I'm like, I need to just figure out some of his tricks and I'll be good. To like just some on defense. I don't need them all. I just need to see which ones he does on skate. You know?
What did you do about your board setup? Did that change?
Well, so I changed my board setup basically that month before. Like the month I started practicing, just because I saw like Seva skated a smaller board, the gold standard in my opinion of like flat ground skating. He does all his tricks this high. You can't see the ground, but it's obviously
It's pretty high.
down there somewhere. And he skates 8 and he skates ventures. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna skate an 8. I'm gonna skate ventures. If Powell made a 7.75,
I'll bet you would have been.
and they have that freestyle one, which I thought about, but I'm like, nah, I'm gonna get shit for that. I was trying to figure out a board that like worked and trucks that turned, but we're good at flat ground, but we're consistent. It fucking sucked, and I'm still to this day like,
Yeah, there was a lot of stories going on.
yeah.
Every time I skated with you, it was like a different set of trucks.
You like grinded down my trucks one day because I was.
Oh, we did. We did.
Like I was losing my mind. I'm like on a pretty normal setup now, but like
Right on.
I'm still on ventures at the moment.
How was it when you got to the barracks the day that you're about to skate against Johnny? Did you skate at the time slot that you were supposed to skate, Johnny?
That's a good question. Well, you know that we didn't. So I get to the barracks. We're supposed to play at noon. I get there like an hour early, just because I want to warm up and shit. It's getting close to 12. Where's Johnny? He messages me on Instagram. Dude's trying to ice me. This dude's not showing up. Shitty bill. No, he hit me up on Instagram. He like needed a ride. But yeah, he was late as fuck. Yeah, super late.
Asked you for a ride?
Asked me for a ride. So I had to watch the first game go down, which was Jamie versus Seva. Yeah, Jamie fucking massacred Seva.
Dude.
So I had to watch that go down before my game, which in a way kind of motivated me. So I'm like, okay, I don't want to get skunked at least. Because, like, realistically going against Johnny, dude, I didn't think I was going to win. So, like, just don't get skunked.
Yeah.
Me and Johnny had a conversation about some shit kind of before the games.
Okay.
Basically talking about doing a gentleman's game. Now, I'm not going to go into too much detail about that, but let's just say it didn't go down that way.
Do you feel that he went straight to the jugular?
I don't feel like he did. He fucking did,
Yeah, he
for
did.
sure. But,
Definitely.
you know, hey,
He definitely... Maybe there was a misunderstanding in that conversation.
Maybe. Otherwise,
But
he
hey.
shows up. You know, I'm nervous as fuck, but we do eventually play the game, and you know, you guys saw. If you haven't seen, first of all, there's spoilers in this, but like, if you saw the game, you know, that's kind of what happened.
Yeah. How did you feel about Jamie being the ref of your game?
I thought it was interesting because the way I looked at it was, if for some weird reason I beat Johnny and continue in the contest, there might be a point where I have to play Jamie. I didn't know it'd be 3 days later, but like I just thought like, this is last year's champ. I almost don't want him to see me skate at all. Yeah. So I think him being the ref in that game actually bit me in the butt pretty hard.
It didn't do you any service?
No, because I don't think he would have seen my strategy unless he was there. And because he was there, and then I just happened to play him next, I think that kind of bit me in the butt a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, that's just all unfortunate. Like, there was no way to... But yeah,
I say that.
I see what you're saying.
I say that, but I'll elaborate on the fact later that, like, in reality, there was no hope from the start against that dude. The more I, like, watched him skate. So that's a comment I got a lot. You know, was like, oh, the strategy was stupid. Oh, you did all these basic tricks, all this stuff. And, like, the reality is, like, yes, there was a little bit of strategy as far as, like, the shove-its. But look at my situation. I had to play Johnny Geiger. The irony is that, like, I saw a lot of people saying that, like, I played dirty, which I find funny as fuck. Because, like, doing shove-its and things like that, it's like, to some extent I can see how that's like a little bit dirty because people don't practice them. Again, it's like my bracket was like, I have to play I had to play Johnny Geiger. There's no reason for me to try like these absurd tricks to take him out because that's what the guy does. So I'm going into it like, okay, the only chance I have is to just land as many tricks as possible. And so because of that, it's like, okay, I'm going to take every trick possible, you know? And so like going back to like the harder stuff, it's like, I had much harder tricks planned eventually, but I didn't get a chance to do them, you know?
Right.
Because the game just didn't go that far. Like, I didn't think I was going to beat that dude on a switch hard flip. Like, that's, you know, that kind of wasn't the plan. So I do all the basics first.
Let's get them out of the way.
And then kind of move on to harder stuff. I don't, you know, if your strategy is to go balls to the walls right away, that's cool too. You know, that's just not how I do it. I watch games like PJ Ladd and those guys, and like they would do 100 tricks in a game,
Yeah.
that's what I'd like to see, and so that's what I did. And so, you know, going back to like the harder tricks, like switch hard flip wasn't like my banger, you know what I mean? It's like I had probably 20, 30, 40 more tricks planned after.
Right.
I just didn't get to them. So like it, you know, I didn't really get to show my full, you know, and the same thing with Jamie. It's like that game, I didn't get to show what I could do for different reasons because he beat me. So like, that's, you know, so like, yes, it started out with like shove-its and stuff. I had to play two dudes who like can do every trick in the world. So if I had to play like a traditional pro, I don't think I would have started with shove-its. I would have still started with the basics, but.
Well, with that, how did it feel to beat Johnny?
Yeah, that was crazy. I mean, obviously I didn't expect to. Like, I watched him miss the first switch hard flip, and I knew he was at T. Didn't like that. I felt nothing because I'm like, there's no way he's gonna miss this. It's a switch hard flip,
right?
Which, in terms of like flat ground, is relatively basic compared to the like second trick he did that game. You know what I mean? So I'm like, I didn't, you know. So I'm like, oh, he's missed switch hard flip. He'll get it next try. Oh, and by the way, late varial heel. That's fucking crazy.
I was gonna ask that next.
So that was fucked up. But like, when he missed that, it kind of took a second. I'm like, oh shit, I actually won the game. You know, because it's fucking crazy. So that was cool as shit for sure.
They were like, Zach's gonna get smoked.
Oh, for sure.
That was what
all the comments, and I don't blame him because I wasn't like, yeah, he's gonna get smoked.
Yeah.
I'm talking about myself, like, but all the comments leading up to it were like, Johnny's gonna. It was all like, we can't wait to see Johnny and Jamie when they found out the brackets.
Oh, wow.
But like, so many people kind of like just ruled me out.
Yeah.
Which
I definitely don't put Johnny in Jamie's category.
Nah, years. I'll tell you this though. The day before I played Jamie, he told me that him and Johnny played 10 games the day prior, and he only beat Johnny once.
No shit.
Johnny is that good.
Maybe Johnny was having a bad day.
Johnny was having a really bad day. I was having a really good day. It worked out. Yeah. And so, like, because of that, like, realistically, anyone could beat anyone.
Oh, totally.
But, like, it was a fluke.
I mean, that's
Like, I know damn well Johnny is way better at flat ground. That's his world. I'm not a flat ground skater. So, like, if we start bringing freestyle dudes into this, who knows?
Right.
What happened then?
Right.
You know what I mean?
What was up with the headphones?
The headphone.
Headphone.
Well, first of all, I only had one headphone because I lost it at the park.
Going into it was just one.
I only had one.
All right.
Yeah, I lost one of the AirPods at the park. I saw some of the games to skate, and that shit was tense as fuck.
Right.
Park gets real quiet. All these people are like
staring at you.
Yeah. So I'm like, fuck that. I'm gonna listen to some music or something to like help me just tunnel vision. You know, and I don't like. I skate with music sometimes when I'm like trying to like practice something, just to kind of, you know, for motivation and like you know, just
to zone into it.
Like you clean the house, you put some music on. Right. It's like it helps you kind of focus. So like for that, I'm like, this is gonna be nerve-wracking. I'm gonna listen to music. What sucks is that game with Johnny, I was so nervous that I paused it for like the rule reading.
Oh yeah.
And I was so nervous I didn't fucking turn it back
play
on.
Again.
So I'm like, that whole game, I just had a fucking ear pod in my ear like an idiot.
For no reason.
With no music. Just so stupid. So, obviously I got a lot of comments, and like, I saw people were talking shit about the AirPod, and I'm like, I didn't even use it, so like, that sucks.
Yeah.
And I know.
Did they think you were having like some coaching going on since it was just one or something?
Fuck, imagine. I should have.
Somebody's in your ear.
I just know the whole like AirPods and, you know, earphones while skating is like a no-no, but like, go to the Battle of the Barracks and like feel that tense energy. Trust me, you're gonna want some headphones.
Yeah.
So
that's weird that people would say something.
No,
about
they
headphones.
do, and they did a lot. Bitches. In my opinion, it's not dirty to like do the shove-its. It's like it is a little questionable, and I got some shit from that. It's funny because even like the 9 Club threw some shade on the shove-it thing, but it's like, again, look at who I had to play. So.
Why didn't you try the late barrel heel?
Did you see the one I landed where I did like a weird shove-it thing, but I still rode away? So he did the late barrel heel, which is like his second or third trick, and I tried it once, but didn't do it but rode away. And a lot, in the actual video when you watch it, it looks like I just took a letter. But a lot of the people there were like, try it again.
Yeah.
Even DeVille was like, try it again.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'll just take a letter. And here's why.
Okay.
When
I do remember that now.
Yeah. And I just took a letter.
You should have tried it again. But you don't have to.
But here's why I didn't, though. Is because when I found out I was playing Johnny, I tried to learn some of his like staple tricks. And that was one of the ones that I tried to learn and couldn't for the life of me do it. And every time I got close to doing it, I almost credit carded. So I'm like,
you're like, I don't want to give it a second.
Yeah, so I'm like, okay, I just did this trick and right away and got like a cool reaction.
I'm gonna leave it like
I'm gonna take it because like I don't want to then sack my balls in front of these people in this video, and then they do those stupid slow-mos. Like, I'm good.
I feel you.
That's why I just took a letter on that.
Okay.
After my game with Johnny, we're all at the barracks. Me, Johnny, Jamie, all the barracks people. So after my game with Johnny, they said that, okay, next you play Jamie.
Yeah.
And I'm like, the reason that we played, me and Jamie,
which sucks,
is because it was just convenient.
Yeah.
Because like I live close to the barracks, he's only in town for a short period. Some of the other contestants are doing other shit.
Yeah.
So I was just lined up to where I had to play fucking Johnny Geiger and then Jamie Griffin back to back.
Right, that fucking sucks.
And with Jamie, they're like, okay, Jamie, you're playing Jamie next.
Today.
No, I had 3 days. It was like, okay, I had like 3 days to try to learn Johnny Geiger tricks, and then now I have like 3 days to learn fucking Jamie Griffin tricks. Like, that's pretty wild. This is terrible, And it's like, part of me is like, you should have practiced their stuff, because if you got far enough anyways,
you would have seen them anyhow.
You would have had to play them.
Yeah, totally.
But I assumed, even if I did have to play either of them at some point, I'd have time to know and practice, but that didn't happen.
Yeah.
So later that day, after I beat Johnny, I'm at Mayberry, and I'm trying Jamie's stupid feather flip trick, and the very first try, the board comes primo, it's flight deck, so it's sharp.
Yeah.
Smashes my big toe.
Oh fuck yeah.
And my whole toenail was just like shattered, dude. It's like purple. I'm like, dude, I just broke my toe.
Right.
And I have to play fucking...
I'm retiring right now.
I have to play Jamie in 3 days. My toe's broken. I can't even practice the next 3 days.
Right.
So I'm like...
Yeah, that's a rough one.
This is fucked up. Like, I can't even practice his tricks. And so, like, the day before our game, I did get to practice a little bit. Hurt like shit.
Dude.
But...
Yeah, those are rough ones. The fucking toe.
Yeah, even during our game with Jamie, my toe was like... Dude, my toe might still be purple, and this is like 8 months ago. Yeah, it was fucked up.
How did you feel before playing Jamie?
You know what's crazy is like, so me and Jamie, this time it was like a normal, we show up to the barracks,
Play when you were supposed to.
Play when we were supposed to. I didn't feel nervous at all about this one. Because like, I had already been through the experience, and I've already looked at it like, yeah, I made peace before the Johnny game, so I'm like, this is all extra credit.
Right.
I shouldn't be here. So I'm like, it doesn't matter how this game goes. I've already gotten farther than seriously 90% of people thought. Because even my homies, when I'm like, I have to play Johnny, they're like, you know what I mean? It's like, yeah. And that's fine, because like, I'm not a flat ground skater.
Yeah, those are the two worst guys that ever possibly
of
have
all
to
time.
Get picked.
Of all time. So it's like, I'm not like, if I tell you I have to play Jamie or Johnny and you have a face, I'm not mad at you. I have that face too. You know what I mean? So it's like, I made it further than I should have. So when I had to play Jamie, I wasn't nervous at all. Just didn't, I was cool with it.
Yeah.
So, felt better.
Did you see the Dumb Data video?
Dumb Data made a video. I'm pretty sure it's literally called How to Beat Jamie Griffin and Skate. And it was like a love letter to me. But
you unfortunately didn't get it 3 days before you had to play him.
No. So here's the thing.
Sorry, Dumb Data.
I did watch the video, yes. And a lot of people sent it to me on Instagram, tagged me in the comments. And all these motherfuckers were like, this is the only way you can beat this dude. I'm like...
Was there like a crowbar involved in like his knee or some shit
waxing
like
his
that?
wheels.
Yeah.
Our game was so far over by the time that video came out that like, I saw it, but it was too late. But I came to a lot of the same conclusions as Dumb Data did. So like, I kind of knew a lot of the stuff he said, but some of his stuff probably would have helped, Oh. But yeah, I saw the video. It came out way the fuck after. I was already like, I retired flat ground like that day.
Yeah.
When I saw that video, I'm like,
I don't.
this shit's.
I'm not trying to play Jamie.
That's the old me, dude. That's the old me. He's dead and gone. I switch flipped the 10 that day.
Yeah,
that was like
yeah.
my fucking.
Yeah, I think I felt that.
My tribute, my salute to flat ground. Like I'm literally gonna switch flip a 10.
I would rather do stairs any day over this shit.
Yeah.
Did you fix the headphone situation for the game against Jamie?
It's funny because
Or did you go back into that with one?
I still only had one headphone because it's the same
Did you
set.
push play?
Well, the second time, yes. So I actually had some music playing. A lot of people are like wondering what. Brandon Westgate's part from Stay Gold.
Oh, okay.
He has this like pretty crazy instrumental track. It was just that.
That's cool.
Like on repeat.
Right.
It's like this like high pace like
Get
drum
you kind of
beat,
pumping.
like, yeah.
Okay.
Westgate's one of my favorites. He skates fast. He does cool tricks.
Right.
Jamie would have slaughtered that dude too, though.
Do you wish you would have practiced more?
Yeah, I do. But with the time I had, I felt like I used it pretty well.
Yeah.
You know, but like, again, I wish I would have like maybe accounted for the fact that I might have to play those dudes sooner. I don't know. I just assumed. I should have assumed.
From being somebody watching through the whole process,
Mm-hmm.
I do feel you practiced a lot. You were out all the time. Every time we asked you where you were, Mayberry. And
Fresh.
anytime we went someplace, somebody was like, I think he's at Mayberry.
And I was at Mayberry.
Yeah.
I pretty much lived there.
Yeah, so in all reality,
I practiced.
I believe everybody thought you were practicing your ass off.
Yeah.
Not that you didn't have good results. It's you literally had
Well,
the two worst picks possible. Do you think you could have won? I think everybody has to think that, or there'd be no reason to fucking enter it. But
Well, so after I beat Johnny, because I didn't think I was going to beat Johnny, I really thought like this is a lost cause. But like all the practice I led up to it, and then I found out I was playing Johnny. It was like a blow for sure. I'm like,
right.
I practiced for nothing. That's what I felt like. After I beat Johnny, I'm like, okay, the practice was worth it. Maybe this will work on Jamie.
You should have went back to Sky is Falling.
I know. Well, I still was, trust me. I'm like, I didn't go into that with confidence, but I'm like, I'm going into this with like, maybe there's a shot.
Right.
And maybe
And
there
you
was,
should.
yeah,
And you should.
And maybe there was a shot.
All kidding aside, you should go into it like that.
But over the last 6 months or however long it's been since this, watching what Jamie does on Instagram, looking back, there was no shot I beat that dude. And that's kind of what I was saying earlier was I'll retouching this. Like, the best way to put it is like, he is a flat ground skater.
Mm-hmm.
That is what he does.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there was no shot. And like, his bag is deeper than I had ever imagined. I could have practiced for 2 years and not...
He's pretty fucked right now for it.
I wouldn't have caught up. But again, it's like, that's his specialty. That's his field. I'm not... I look at my skating, I'm like, I'm kind of like a jack of all trades.
Yeah.
I'm not really like... I don't really have a specialty. I don't really have a thing. I just kind of try to skate whatever.
Right.
Guys like Johnny and Jamie, that's what they do.
Would you ever enter this again?
I mean...
They'll probably invite you now.
It seems like the obvious answer is yes.
I think it would be silly
But...
to not ever, but...
If the bracket has Jamie Griffin's and Johnny Geiger's, I think I would still enter, but I'm not going to put the kind of pressure on myself that I did because I really
I wouldn't do that.
I took a lot of time to like practice and like, you know, I kind of gave up working on other projects. So I think if I did enter again, like I would enter. I'm not going to take the time
usually
to do
take the time to
right.
catch a shinner for it.
So like in order to like do well in this contest, you either need to spend a lot of time learning that shit, which you probably should, you know, if you're gonna have to play guys like this.
Yeah.
Or you just do your fundamentals, just stick to what you do, and that's it.
And if you get control of the game,
You know, but like with that strategy,
shove
I'm
it out.
sorry, but like
No.
you're not gonna beat someone like Jamie Griffin. That's the thing. It's like
yeah.
you
Because eventually he's gonna get in.
You have to learn those tricks.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would enter again, of course, because it's a great opportunity.
It is.
And a lot of people watch it. And like as a kid, that was one of my dreams to be in it.
Yes.
So like, you know, check that off the list.
Yeah,
I
that
did
is rad. You were in the bracket, you got a board.
It was fucking an awesome thing. But next year, if I get in, I'm saying this now, like I'm not gonna try, but you know how I am.
Dude, you're competitive. You're
Yeah,
totally
I'm
right.
competitive as fuck. Like I'm gonna be doing fakey heel flip bottom barrels. Like, fuck that. Nah, I want to win.
All right, so now what? What's your projects? What you got going on?
Well, the second
Obviously GoPro.
the second the barracks thing stopped, I got to finish the GoPro part. So that's we started in January. We filmed the last trick like I think a month ago, and so this video, I'm gonna put this video out like a couple days after my game with Jamie, which I imagine because they're doing round 2 now will
Should
definitely
coming
be
pretty soon.
in the next month or two.
Yeah.
And so the GoPro shit's gonna start in I think like 2 weeks from now. So it'll start in like the end of September.
Okay.
So I imagine you'll see that GoPro part I'm talking about, which is like a fun, not serious part, just like weekdays, going to spots, fucking around, going to skate parks.
Right.
Yeah. So that'd be cool. We just put out the Dan part, which was like a throwaway part that we didn't want to like go to waste. So we, put it on Dan's channel. So that just
I thought it did pretty good.
Yeah, it was cool. I mean,
I thought it did pretty good.
me and the guys who filmed it aren't stoked on it because like the skating's super old and dated, and a lot of it was like the weaker stuff too. So like a lot of it was like
you said, it was a throwaway.
it was a throwaway.
Yeah.
So I'm like the fact that people responded well to it, awesome. But just know that there's some better shit on the horizon. You know what I mean? And that's what happened.
Yeah.
Is I just had too much, and I just didn't have anything to really put it towards.
Right.
When I started writing for Powell, it's like they didn't really care about the video part shit.
Mm-hmm.
But like I am ingrained as a
Skateboarder that
early
need to be
2000s
filming.
skater that like I need to be filming. I love to fucking skate. I love to film. But yeah, so like the GoPro part, Dan's part, Fallen part coming out sometime next year. I have a Powell part that I just started working on. That's gonna be a part I'm excited to show.
Okay.
Solo part.
Sick.
Yeah. So that's.
Oh, is it? Okay.
It's a good one. For a good cause. But yeah, subscribe to Kenny. Obviously, his link will be in the description for helping out and being a part of this. So, yeah, thanks for real. And he puts out content with a lot of the Powell dudes, behind the scenes shit. Just
Yeah.
so
You don't get to see my face very much.